everyone. So it has been 6 months since I got this godforsaken phone, and trust me, it's really getting on my nerves, but I'm honestly surprised that up until now it's not in a wall. So here are my thoughts. And just to refresh your memory, this phone is a ZTE Blade A3 2020, and here are the specs. Alright, so you see the specs them now. So first up, we're gonna talk about the hardware. So you probably expect say 6 months will do a decent amount of damage for your phone this cheap. But honestly, it not do that much damage. No, granted, it is because the phone have on a case and the case protects the phone, so you might not see that much damage apart from little scratches here and there caused by debris entering the little creases them. And a little condensation mysteriously appearing because me I sweat so much and the heat dissipate through the phone and so on and so forth. So starting off hardware wise, we're gonna talk about the screen. So 6 months pass and the screen don't crack, which is a very good thing. And we drop the phone multiple times. Sometimes it drop face first on the concrete slab and it hurts emotionally. But when I take out the phone, I'm just say, hey, I just saw a little bit of scratch. Just brush it off and it's just fine. Now the second thing we're gonna talk about is the hybrid earpiece. Now that I mentioned it in my review video, and it is basically the speaker and the calling microphone merged into one component. Now even mentioning the word hybrid and merging is kinda scary because if the speaker mash up, the calling microphone mash up as well. So what that means is if you were able to make a call, the person on the other side would hear you because this phone has two microphones but you cannot hear them. And even worse, if you were attempting to replace this component, God forbid this component soldered onto the motherboard. And if it is soldered onto the motherboard, you might as well have to replace the phone. So you know that work because these past 6 months, it a chip in and a chip out for me and kind of scary. Now granted, it may be doing these things because the phone get a whole heap of drop, and the whole heap of drop where it get might have disconnected from the motherboard, which causing the chipping in and chipping out, but it's kind of scary still. And thirdly is the camera. Now when the phone was brand new, the camera quality was mediocre. So since 6 months passed, the camera quality got worse than mediocre, partly because of the plastic covering. This plastic cover over the camera lens is plastic, obviously, and since it is plastic, it is easily scratched, apart from its counterpart, which is glass, which is fairly scratch resistant. Since this phone is a cheap phone, obviously they might use plastic, and since the plastic scratch up, it got worse, just worse. And now we switch things to the software side. Now starting with the OS, 6 months ago when the phone was brand new, it was out of the box with Android 9 Go Edition. 6 months later, the phone still run Android 9 Go Edition. You know what me really expect? This is a very cheap phone. So obviously, there is no promise for OS upgrade, even though the phone have a built-in software upgrader. Then we talk about the RAM and the storage. We're in 2021 and the phone have 1 GB RAM and 32 GB of space. Are those enough? Obviously no, but that me have to work with because me not no other choice. And since me not no other choice, it has been hell, real hell. And then the 32 gigs of internal storage, which is quite surprising for a budget phone because usually other budget phones at this price would go for something worse, which is called a 16 gigs. So 32 gigs is quite surprising, but it is still not enough because I fold up the phone so fast and the things that will take up the space is the very apps when we update through the Google Play Store and them take up majority of the space. Other things that take up the space is like the music or the videos I'm used to the camera and the mangas that I read. And you might say, why am I just put in a memory card? I did, but the phone have a blasted disease that prohibits it from even moving things from the phone to the memory card. And then the battery. Yes, the battery. So 6 months ago, obviously the phone was brand new then, and the battery life was above average. It was good, it was excellent. 6 months later, we don't see a reduction in the battery health. It's still good, it's still good, surprisingly. If you have 2600 milliamp hour battery, the battery life is excellent. And you probably say, oh, me not use the phone so much, we just read manga and watch YouTube video and read articles on the internet, which is fair. It's a fair point. But still, battery life is good. Very, very good. Yeah, just because the phone 6 months old, it's not like 2 years old, I probably see a difference by then. But battery life good so far. And if you think those reasons are valid reasons why you should not buy the phone, wait, there is even more. So, what I'm gonna explain now is this mysterious force reset of Google apps. One day, sometime probably a month ago. So one day I wake up. The night before I put the phone on charge. So the day I wake up, I'm gonna go up on my phone. I realize every single Google related app get reset. Google app, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Google Drive, Google Maps, Google Keep. Everything Google related got reset for some strange reasons. I still don't know up to this day. And the only third party app that got reset was WhatsApp, which coincidentally needs a Google Drive account for work. Another strange phenomenon I've been experiencing is that the phone sometimes shut off by itself. Now, you might say this and that, but I'm gonna tell you, first of all, the phone do not have a scheduled power on/off. The phone at the time in a decently charged level, it's at 50% or over, and the phone is not experiencing any overheat issues. So, I don't know why it just a shut off sometimes at random. These 6 months that I have been using this phone for has been quite hellish. And it is even more hellish because I have no other choice. This is the only phone I own. I hope this video will make you realize this phone is a piece of shit. Do not buy the ZTE Blade A3 2020. Avoid it like the plague.